Introduction. A world of words and characters. Welcome. You are about to embark on one of the most rewarding intellectual journeys available to a language learner. The Chinese language, with its millennia-old history and its undeniable global influence, is more than just a tool for communication. It is a key that unlocks a vast and profound civilization. This book is designed to be your comprehensive guide on that journey, from your first tentative en-ho to engaging with sophisticated professional texts. This introduction will serve as your foundational map, outlining the terrain you are about to explore and providing the essential context for the adventure ahead. Why learn Chinese? The strategic and cultural imperative. The decision to learn Chinese is often met with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The language's reputation for difficulty precedes it, but so do the immense benefits of mastering it. The strategic advantage. Mandarin Chinese is the most spoken native language in the world. With over 1 billion speakers, China is a global economic, political, and technological powerhouse. Proficiency in Chinese opens doors to a staggering array of opportunities in business, international relations, academia, technology, and finance. It is not merely a language skill but a significant career asset that sets you apart in a competitive global marketplace. The cultural key. Beyond economics, Chinese is the vessel for one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations. Learning the language allows you to access a breathtaking wealth of philosophy, poetry, history, and art in its original form. Imagine reading Sun Tzu's The Art of War, Confucius's Analects, or the timeless poetry of Li Bai and Du Fu, not through translation, but as they were written. It allows you to understand the cultural nuances, values, and thought patterns that have shaped the Chinese-speaking world, from the concept of face, mianzi, and familial duty to the subtle meanings behind a traditional painting or a modern film. A cognitive workout. Studies have shown that learning a character-based language like Chinese engages the brain differently than alphabetic languages. It exercises memory, pattern recognition, and visual spatial skills. Mastering the tones fine-tunes your auditory perception. The mental discipline required is immense, but the cognitive rewards are equally significant. What is Chinese? Understanding the concept of Mandarin, Putonghua, vs dialects. This is the most crucial conceptual foundation for any new learner. The term Chinese is misleading, as it refers to a family of related but often mutually unintelligible languages. Mandarin, Tenghu, the common speech. This is the official language of the People's Republic of China, Taiwan, where it's called Gai, and Singapore. It is the language of government, education, media, and official communication nationwide. When people say they are learning Chinese, they are almost always learning Standard Mandarin. This is what this encyclopedia will teach you. It is based largely on the Beijing dialect. The dialects, DFA with Macron and Jihua, local speech. This term often refers to other Sinitic languages that evolved from earlier forms of Chinese. They are not simply accents or variations of Mandarin. They can be as different from Mandarin as French is from Spanish. Key examples include Cantonese, Yu spoken in Guangdong Province, Hong Kong, and Macau. It has 6 to 9 tones and preserves many ancient Chinese sounds lost in Mandarin. It is a major language of the global diaspora. Hokkien, MNNA with acute NY, spoken in Fujian Province, Taiwan, and by many overseas Chinese communities in Southeast Asia. Shanghai Nessa, Shanghai Weiwu dialect, spoken in the Shanghai region. Hakka, Kaijihu, spoken by the Hakka people in several southern Chinese provinces. While this book focuses on Mandarin, understanding this linguistic diversity is essential. It explains why two people from different parts of China might struggle to communicate without the common ground of Tenghu. The journey ahead. A roadmap for learning. Learning Chinese is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, consistency, and the right strategy. This encyclopedia is structured to mirror and guide your progression. Part I, the foundations. We begin with the absolute basics, the sounds, tones and pinyin, and the writing system, characters and radicals. Mastery here is non-negotiable. A weak foundation will cause problems later. We will build your first sentences and essential vocabulary. Part 2, building competence. Here, we expand your grammatical toolkit, dive deeper into character construction, and develop practical conversational skills for everyday situations. You will move from simple sentences to expressing more complex ideas. Part 3, toward fluency. This section tackles advanced grammar, sophisticated vocabulary like idioms, chng, and the cultural nuances necessary for true comprehension. You will learn to consume authentic media and express yourself in a more native-like way. Part 4, Professional Mastery. For those aiming to use Chinese at the highest levels, we explore specialized language for business and academia, translation principles, and the socio-linguistic landscape of the Chinese-speaking world. Embrace the journey. There will be moments of frustration, a forgotten character, a tone misunderstood, but these will be far outweighed by the thrill of your first real conversation, the joy of reading a street sign, and the profound satisfaction of connecting with a culture on its own terms. Let's begin. Part I, The Foundations, Beginner Level, Chapter 1, The Sound of Mandarin. Before you learn a single character, you must learn to hear and produce the sounds of Mandarin. This chapter is the most critical in the entire book. A strong phonetic foundation will make your learning smoother and your speech more intelligible. A weak foundation, plagued by inaccurate tones, is the single biggest obstacle to being understood. 11. The phonetic building blocks, initials and finals. Unlike English, Mandarin syllables have a very consistent structure. They are composed of two parts, an initial, shngm, which is the consonant sound that begins the syllable, and a final, ynm, which is the main vowel sound that forms the core of the syllable. A syllable must have a final, but it does not always need an initial. Initials, consonants. There are 21 initials in Mandarin. Many have rough equivalents in English, e.g., b, p, m, f, d, t, n, l. However, some are distinctly different and require careful attention. The zh, ch, sh, r series are retroflex sounds, tongue curled back. The j, q, x series are alveolopalatal sounds, tongue flat and close to the hard palate. These are followed only by I or U-like sounds. A crucial distinction: Mandarin b, d, g are unaspirated, no puff of air, while p, t, k are strongly aspirated. It's the difference between spot, unaspirated p, and pot, aspirated p. Finals, vowels and compound vowels. There are about 35 finals. They can be simple vowels, a, o, e, I, u, compound vowels, ai, ei, ao, ou, or nasal vowels, n, ang, ong. Special note: the final I here is not the vowel in C. It represents two different sounds that follow the initials Z/C/S and ZH/CH/SH/R. After these initials, it is a faint buzzing sound. 12. The four tones. The music of Mandarin tones are not optional, they are an integral part of a word's meaning. Changing the tone changes the word entirely. Mandarin has four primary tones, often illustrated with the syllable ma. 1 first tone, a high, level, and steady pitch. Imagine singing a high note, ma with macron, mother. 2 second tone, a rising tone, like the sound of asking huh, or what. Ma, hemp. 3 third tone, a low, dipping tone. It starts mid-low, drops to the bottom of your vocal range, and then rises again. In most natural speech, the rise is often omitted, especially when followed by another syllable, m, horse. 4 fourth tone, a sharp, falling tone. Imagine the sound of giving a stern command, stop. Ma, to scold. 121 tone drills and practice. This section includes extensive audio exercises, referencing the accompanying website/audio files, single syllable drills, ma with macron, ma, m, ma tone pair drills, practicing the two-tone combinations that form words, e.g., Anho uses a half third tone and third tone. Listening discrimination, exercises to train your ear to hear the difference between, for example, ma with macron and ma. 122 The neutral tone. Some syllables are pronounced without a definite tone. They are short, light, and weak. This is common in grammatical particles like ma, for questions. The second syllable of some nouns, e.g., ma, mom. The second syllable of some verbs, e.g., cancan, to take a look. 13 tone changes. The melody of speech tones are not rigid in flowing speech, they change based on their neighbors to make pronunciation easier and more melodic. The three most critical rules are: 1 third tone sandhi, when 2 third tone syllables meet, the first one changes to a second tone n, third, plus ho, third, ni ho, second plus third, equals hello. This does not change the written pinyin, only the pronunciation to the change of buletin, no, not is naturally a fourth tone. However, when it is followed by another fourth tone, it changes to a second tone, buletin, buletin, fourth, plus chu, fourth, buletin chu, second plus fourth, equals not going through the change of y1 is naturally a first tone. Its tone changes based on the following tone, before a fourth tone, changes to a second tone, yi, ge. 1, before a first, second, or third tone, changes to a fourth tone, yi, yitin, 1 day, yinian, 1 year. When used alone or at the end of a phrase, it keeps its original first tone. 14 Introduction to Pinyin. Your phonetic lifeline. Hanyu Pinyin, or simply Pinyin, is the romanization system for Standard Mandarin. It uses the Latin alphabet to represent Chinese sounds. It is your single most important tool for learning pronunciation and for typing Chinese characters on a digital device. 141 Reading and Writing Pinyin correctly. Syllable division. Pinyin is written syllable by syllable. Each syllable should be separated by a space, e.g., w shwezhngwn, I study Chinese. Tone marks. Tone marks are placed over the main vowel of the final. The order of priority is a, o, e, I, u, u. For example, ho, over a, g, over e, dui, over I. Here, ui is an abbreviation for uei, so the main vowel is e, which gets the mark, the u umlaut when u is written as u, after j, q, x, y. The two dots are essential, e.g., n, woman. However, after n and l, the dots are retained to avoid ambiguity with nu/lu, e.g., nvsn. 142 Common Pinyin pitfalls for English speakers. U is not u. The pinyin u is pronounced like the English word yo with a soft o sound. It is one syllable. U chi is not ki. The pinyin chi is pronounced like a soft chi with a strong puff of air. The q is aspirated. C is ts. The pinyin c is like the ts in cats, but aspirated cai, dish, sounds like xi, zh, ch, sh are not hard. These are not the English j, ch, sh. The tongue is curled back towards the roof of the mouth, ignoring tones. The most common and critical error me, to buy, and my, to sell, are opposite actions. Tones are meaning. Chapter 2, The Character of Chinese, an introduction to Hanzi. For many, Chinese characters, Hanzi, are the most daunting and fascinating aspect of the language. This chapter will demystify them. We will move beyond the myth that they are mere pictures and reveal them for what they are, a logical, structured writing system. Understanding the architecture of characters is the first step to learning them efficiently. 21 Demystifying characters. They're not pictures. A common misconception is that each Chinese character is a detailed illustration of the word it represents. While this is true for a tiny fraction of the oldest characters, over 95% of characters are phonetic semantic compounds. More on this in 24, which combine meaning and sound clues. Think of characters not as pictures, but as building blocks or Lego sets. They are assembled from a finite set of components in a logical, though often ancient, way. Learning these components and the rules of assembly is the key to literacy. This approach transforms character learning from a feat of brute force memorization into a process of pattern recognition and understanding. 22 The architecture of characters, strokes and stroke order. Every character, no matter how complex, is written with a series of single, uninterrupted strokes of the pen. Mastering strokes and their order is the foundation of writing characters correctly and legibly. 221 The 8 basic strokes. There are dozens of stroke variations, but they all derive from 8 basic types. Each has a name and a specific way of being written, e.g., with a pause, a sweep, or a hook, one din, dot, a small dash, often falling from right to left. 2 hung, horizontal, a straight horizontal line, written from left to right. 3 shu, vertical, a straight vertical line, written from top to bottom. 4 pi, left falling, a sweeping stroke falling from right to left. 5 na, right falling, a sweeping stroke falling from left to right, often with a slight rise before the fall. 6 t, rise, A flick upwards from left to right 7 gu, hook, a hook added to the end of another stroke, e.g., a vertical hook, shgu, 8 wa with macron n, bend, a curved stroke, not as sharp as a hook. 222 The importance of proper stroke order. Stroke order is not arbitrary. Following the standard rules is crucial for several reasons: legibility and balance. Writing strokes in the correct order ensures the character is balanced and proportioned correctly. The final stroke often anchors the character's speed and fluency. Proper stroke order is the most efficient way to write, especially when transitioning to faster, cursive style writing. Character recognition. Knowing stroke order is essential for using paper dictionaries and for ensuring digital handwriting recognition software understands your input. Fundamental rules. The major rules of stroke order are: 1. Top before bottom, 2. Left before right, 3. Horizontal before vertical, 4. Outside before inside, 4. Enclosed characters, 5. Middle before sides, 4. Symmetrical characters, 6. Enclosing frame before contents, but closing the bottom last, e.g., is written, left vertical, top and right, contents, then finally the bottom horizontal. 23. Radicals. The semantic building blocks. If you only take one thing from this chapter, let it be the importance of radicals. Pshu. Radicals are the foundational components of the Chinese writing system. They are indexing symbols, similar to the roll of letters in an alphabet. But for categorization, what is a radical? A radical is a graphical component that often indicates the general meaning or category of a character. There are 214 classical radicals, but many are rare. The meaning clue. For example, the radical, shu, water, often appears in characters related to liquids or water, he, river, hu, lake, lu, to flow. The radical, yan, speech, appears in characters related to language, shu, to speak, hua, words, ren, to recognize. How they help. Radicals provide a crucial clue to it character's meaning. When you encounter a new character, identifying its radical can often help you guess its general meaning and is essential for looking it up in a dictionary. 24 Character types. The 6 scripts. Lish. Historically, Chinese characters are categorized into 6 types. Understanding the first 4 is incredibly helpful for learners. 1. Pictographs. Xiangxing. These are the oldest characters, simplified drawings of objects. They are few in number but form the basis for others. Example, sha with macron n, mountain, looks like a mountain range, ren, person, looks like a walking person, mu, tree. 2 Simple ideographs, zhsh. These characters represent abstract concepts with symbolic signs. They are also rare. Example, shang, up, and xia, down. Use a horizontal line with a point above or below it, y, 1, er, 2, sa with macron n, 3. Use horizontal lines. 3 Compound ideographs, hui. These characters combine 2 or more pictorial elements to suggest a new meaning. Example, zai, to rest, combines, person, next to, tree, ho, good, combines, woman, and, child, ming, bright, combines, sun, and, moon. 4 Phonetic semantic compounds, xng-shng. This is the most important type, constituting over 90% of all characters. They consist of 2 parts, a semantic component, the radical, which gives a clue to the meaning, of phonetic component, which gives a clue to the pronunciation. Example, ma with macron, mother, the radical, n, woman, indicates the meaning. The component, m, horse, gives a rough pronunciation clue, mvs ma with macron. While pronunciations have drifted over millennia, the phonetic component is still a powerful mnemonic tool. The final 2 types, transferred characters and loan characters, are more relevant to historical linguists than learners. By understanding that characters are built from radicals and other components with logical functions, you shift from memorizing thousands of unique drawings to learning a system of reusable parts. This is the fundamental mindset for mastering Hanzi. Chapter 3, your first words and phrases. Now that you have a grasp of sounds and the concept of characters, It's time to start building your first practical toolkit for communication. This chapter provides the essential vocabulary and phrases you need to start forming simple sentences and engaging in basic interactions. Remember to practice these with the correct tones you learned in Chapter 131. Greetings and essentials, the foundation of politeness. These are your survival phrases, the first words you will use and hear constantly. An ho, hello, the standard, all-purpose greeting. Literally you could note the tone change. Two-third tones become ni ho, zixi, thank you, essential for polite interaction. The second is pronounced in the neutral tone, buletin kiki, you're welcome, the standard response to note the tone change on, buletin, before the fourth tone, diabuk, I'm sorry, used. For apologies the here is in the neutral tone, mei gungzi, it's okay / no problem, the common response to, zaijian, goodbye. Literally again see, she, yes / to be, used to affirm or identify, e.g., w she sushin, I am a student, buletin she, no / is not, the negative form of again, note the tone sandy, buletin she. 32 pronouns, the actors in your sentences. Chinese pronouns are wonderfully simple, they do not have gender, except for the written form introduced later, or case, subject / object, changes, w, I, me, n, you, singular, informal, nin, you, singular, formal, used to show respect to elders, superiors, or customers. Crucial for polite interaction, ta with macron, he, him, ta with macron, she, her, pronunciation is identical to, the difference is only in the written radical, for male, for female, ta with macron, it, for objects / animals, woman, we, us, the suffix dash, men, is added to make a pronoun plural, nmen, you, plural, tmen. They, them, masculine or mixed group, tmen, they, them, exclusively female group, pronunciation is identical. 33 basic question words. The keys to discovery. These words will allow you to start asking questions and gathering information immediately. In Chinese, word order in a question is often the same as in a statement. You simply replace the part you're asking about with a question word, she / shui, who. Ta with macron shi she. Who is he? Shen, what? Zhe shi shen. What is this? Nr, / nl, where? Is more common in spoken Mandarin. Anzai nr. Where are you? Shen shi hao, when? Anzhen shi hao lai. When are you coming? Wei shenma, why? Wei shenma shue zhnggwn. Why study Chinese? Znme, how? Jgziznme do. How do you read this character? Ma, the yes / no question particle, this is placed at the end of a statement to turn it into a yes / no question. An ho ma. Are you well? An shi sushin ma. Are you a student? 34 numbers 1 to 100, days, and months numbers. The Chinese numbering system is very logical and regular. 0 to 10,